The iQOO Neo 10 is probably one of the craziest phones I've seen this year. This isn't just the very first Snapdragon 8s Gen 4 powered phone that offers superior gaming performance with an emphasis in power efficiency. It also comes with a 7000 mAh battery that supports crazy fast 120W wired fast charging in a slim 8.1mm body that weighs just 206 grams. But most importantly, it costs under 2,000 ringgit, which is actually a killer value compared to similar price segment phones. But what else are you missing out? It's easy to mistake the iQOO Neo 10 as the flagship iQOO 13 as they feature a very similar design language, though the Neo 10 is obviously missing the RGB camera ring that makes it less flashy as a gaming phone, but I'm sure some folks will prefer that. The iQOO Neo 10 employs a plastic build instead of a more robust aluminum frame, while it only has IP65 dust and water resistance, so it can't take a dip in the pool even if you want to, which is a shame as most of its competitors are already on at least IP67. Look past these shortcomings, you'll be impressed by the phone's beautiful 6.78-inch AMOLED screen that pushes 1.5K resolution at 144Hz with a 4400 nits peak brightness. The screen bezels are incredibly slim that gives it a good high screen-to-body ratio. It also has a pair of good-sounding stereo speakers, which makes it an overall excellent media consumption device.
Never let him get you down. Gonna make it stay just fine. 이대로 모자라지도 넘치지도 않아 'cause I have a collection.
Now, let's get straight into the iQOO Neo 10's main selling point: performance. Many of you might wonder if the Snapdragon 8s Gen 4 is comparable to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chip that's equipped on the Chinese variant. Fortunately, benchmark scores on Geekbench are on par when I tested it against the Honor 400 Pro that has the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. However, it scored much lower in the 3D Mark Wildlife Extreme benchmark and fares slightly better in the 3D Mark Solar Bay Ray Tracing benchmark, which means that the Snapdragon 8s Gen 4 isn't that good in rendering high-resolution graphics compared to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. But the improved ray tracing performance is definitely commendable. In the real world, the iQOO Neo 10 will handle any games you throw at it with ease, and there's no sign of performance throttle even after gaming for an hour, although the stability score is less than ideal in the 3D Mark Wildlife Extreme stress test. But do take that as a reference as I never ran into any performance issues. Assisting the Snapdragon 8s Gen 4 chip is the iQOO Q1 supercomputing chip, which upscales the resolution and increases the frame rate to match the screen refresh rate in supported games. I definitely notice sharper details when it comes to graphics if I pixel peep, but can't really comment on the frame rates because games already look so good with 60 FPS on such a small screen. But this dedicated chip does take the load off the Snapdragon 8s Gen 4, which ultimately results in better power efficiency. The iQOO Neo 10 has a pretty modest dual camera setup that consists a 50MP wide with OIS and 8MP ultra-wide camera. But don't let this camera put your hopes down in taking good photos because based on my tests, they deliver impressive image quality even in low-light conditions. I'm also impressed with its portrait capture, and the selfie camera really processes my skin tone really well. With a 7000 mAh battery, it is not possible to kill the battery in a day even if you're using it for super heavy texting and social media browsing with a 6-hour screen on time. I'm not a heavy gamer by all means, but I'm pretty sure this will offer hours and hours of gaming session on a single charge. But what I'm most impressed is the fast 120W wired charging, which is essential for charging such a large-sized battery, and it gets fully charged in 36 minutes from a flat battery. Even without the inbox power brick, Vivo claims that the iQOO Neo 10 can take 100W USB PD charging, but I wasn't able to get that even with a compatible charger. The max I got was 65W, which is still really fast. The iQOO Neo 10 starts at 1,999 ringgit for the 12GB RAM and 256GB storage model and costs an additional 200 ringgit for the 16GB RAM and 512GB storage model. This is an excellent value if you want a gaming phone that offers good performance and really long battery life. It's just a shame that it doesn't come with a higher IP rating, but that's just a really small issue if you don't go throwing the phone in the pool or bathtub. So that's all for my review of the iQOO Neo 10. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. Subscribe to the channel for more videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.